I can talk English, I can walk English, I can laugh English because English is a very funny language.
Hello friends, I am Professor Dhole and welcome to the classroom. In this video, I'll be taking you through some English pronunciations. But not just normal pronunciations. Let me explain. Generally speaking, there are two prominent flavors of English followed around the world mainly in terms of accent and pronunciation. The British English and the American English. Though the modern world is slowly adopting the American English format, the British format has been around for centuries now and is still prevalent. India as well has had a significant influence of British English because of obvious reasons, and even today the British format shows dominance in Indian English. So here are a few words which are pronounced differently in British English and American English. Here's the first one. This word is pronounced in British English as schedule, but the Americans pronounce it differently. They pronounce it as schedule, schedule and schedule. Here are two words or rather prefixes that are commonly used in English. The British enunciate these as anti and multi. For instance, antibiotic, anti-national, antivirus, multipurpose, multidimensional, multimillionaire, and so on. The Americans, however, pronounce these prefixes as anti and multi. For instance, these words are pronounced in American format as antibiotic, anti-national, antivirus, multipurpose, multidimensional, multimillionaire, and so on. Continuing with prefixes, how do you pronounce these words, especially in American English? Anticipate, antidote, antigen, multiplication, multiple, multiplex? Sounds wrong, doesn't it? In these words, there are no prefixes. These are whole words. The highlighted parts of the words are not used as prefixes here. They are actually a part of the words without which the words would not have any meaning. The highlighted parts of such whole words have the same pronunciations in both British and American English. Here, they must always be pronounced as anti and multi. Hence, anticipate, antidote, antigen, multiplication, multiple, and multiplex. Remember, these highlighted words are sounded out differently in British and American English only when they are used as prefixes. Moving on, let's take this word. Today, the pronunciation of this word is the same everywhere. It is pronounced as education. But if you go back a few decades, this word was said differently in British English. It was said as education. Even today, many prefer to use the old and original pronunciation of this word, especially in India. Education, education. These next three words can be grouped together due to their similarity in pronunciation. These words are enounced by the British as often, soften, and hasten. Here, the T is silent and hence not pronounced. But the Americans pronounce these words by prominently pronouncing the T. That is, the T is not silent in this case. Hence, they pronounce these words as often, soften, and hasten. This next word is an interesting one. It is generally a rank in the military. Let's begin with its American pronunciation. The Americans pronounce this word literally as it looks, that is, lieutenant. But the British pronunciation of this word is quite interesting and unusual. This word is pronounced in British English as lieutenant. There is a mention of an F here, even though it does not exist in its spelling. Lieutenant and lieutenant. English is really funny at times, isn't it? The next set of these words is announced in a similar way. The focus here is on the pronunciation of I. In the British format, these words are pronounced as diversity, direct, and privacy. The I in these words is pronounced as it is, that is, as I. But in the American format, the I in these words is pronounced as E. Hence, the words are sounded out as diversity, direct, and privacy. There is another word whose pronunciation differs based on how the I is sounded out. But here, the I is pronounced contrary to what we saw in the previous set of words. Here, the British format pronounces the I as E, that is, vitamin, whereas in the American format, the I is pronounced in this word as it is, hence, vitamin, vitamin, and vitamin. This last word is pronounced somewhat likewise in both the flavors of English. The British pronounce this word as garage or garage, but the Americans pronounce this word only as garage. Majority Indians mostly prefer to call it as garage. So now the question arises, which pronunciations should you use, or which is a better flavor of English? This question cannot be answered specifically. The British English has a strong origin and has been followed around the world for centuries. Even today, India conventionally follows the British flavor of English, especially in educational institutes, government agencies, and legal processes. American English, on the other hand, is quite modern compared to the British flavor. The pronunciations in this flavor are quite literal to the letters used in the words. Also, American English is quite informal and sometimes even considered slang. So does that mean that the British version is preferable to the American one? Well, saying this will not be right. The world is evolving at a very fast rate, and so are languages. So the best answer would be to go with the flow and gradually adapt to changes in the English language. That's all, folks. If you enjoyed this video or learned something from it, do like it by giving it a thumbs up. If you wish to see more such videos, do subscribe to this channel. You can also get notified of the videos by pressing the bell icon. So goodbye for now, see you soon, and yes, keep Englishing.